Boyden Valley Winery has some exciting news. Their bourbon is back in 3 tasty flavors. Local 44's Brittany Weir is live outside our studio to tell us all about this cream liqueur. Good morning, Brittany.
Yes, good morning, Abby. I am outside. It's a beautiful day to be out here, and I am joined with David Boyden, who's going to tell us all about their new bourbons. We've got maple and we've got apple. And
yes, a lot of things going on.
Sounds so tasty.
Yeah, we're very excited. We have 2 new cream liqueurs this year. The first is our apple creme, which we have made in the past, but it's been a while since we made it, and we just had a lot of people that wanted it again. And with cider being such a big thing, it just made sense to start producing this again.
Sounds very, very fall. So
yes, very much.
We've got that coming up, and I love apple, so that sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, it's awesome, and it's really delicate. So our cream liqueurs are really craft. It's more than just a flavoring we use. It's a very complex process. So for this product, for instance, the apple cream, we'll start with ice cider, which we make by freezing apple juice and turning it into ice cider, which is a nice sweet dessert wine. And then we also make apple brandy. So we work with Brown's Orchard in Starksboro, Vermont.
Okay.
And we bring in about 3,000 gallons of cider, typically at a time, ferment that, and then that gets distilled to 180 proof apple brandy. Then we take that brandy and we blend it with ice cider, and that's called a pommeau, in France. And we take that pommeau and age it in French oak.
Wow.
So when we get done, you have this really complex apple flavors that have been aged with ice cider and apple brandy, and then we take that and add it to fresh cream.
It's a whole process there.
Yes, very much so.
Probably what makes it taste so good.
Yeah, and that's kind of what differentiates us from a big mass-produced brand. Is we try to use Vermont product, and we do everything really craft and build up a really beautiful product.
And keep it local.
Yep.
I love that.
So that's the apple cream.
Okay, so then we've got the maple over here.
So we've been producing a maple cream liqueur for years now. And then we've also, because we're sugar makers, we have a big wood-fired evaporator. So we make a really robust style of maple syrup. So for years now, we've also been making a bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup. So we bring in barrels from Kentucky, bourbon barrels, and then we fill them with maple syrup hot off the evaporator, and then we let it sit for about 6 months. So we take that age.
6 months?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time.
It's really nice. It basically extracts all the flavor and all the flavors of the wood and flavor of the bourbon and adds that to the maple syrup. So then we take that syrup and we add it to 5-year-old bourbon and then cream. So this one's a little different than our maple cream because it's predominantly a bourbon note, really strong in bourbon, so people who like bourbon will really like this.
Okay.
And then the secondary is kind of the bourbon barrel-aged maple. And it's got a lot of bourbon. It takes about 1 liter or 2 of bourbon for every gallon of cream, so you can taste the bourbon. It's a really nice product.
So there's so much that goes into this. That's amazing. I didn't know any of it, so I'm learning it all. But thank you so much for telling me about it. But make sure to stick with us, guys, because we will have more from Boyden Valley coming up in the next show. But for now, back to you guys in the studio.